everybody and welcome back to our YouTube channel. We are as always your hosts Arne and Carlos.
And we're trying to do something different. After 5 years of filming at home, we have decided to go out of our house and take you to some beautiful locations around in Norway. And right now we are in the stunning islands of Lofoten in the north of Norway. We are north of the Arctic Circle, in the land of the midnight sun, where it doesn't get dark. So today's a beautiful day, and it will be a beautiful night as well, which will look exactly like what it is right now, as the sun doesn't set here.
Yeah, and it's early in the morning and it's quite warm.
Oh yes.
But we brought our mitten.
Yeah, so for those of you who think that the Arctic Circle and north of that means it's like Siberia, because of the Gulf Stream here in Norway, the Gulf Stream hits the entire coast of Norway. It means that the climate here is relatively mild all year round. So we're enjoying ourselves in the sun, wearing our shirts, and it's a lovely, lovely day for a mitten.
Yeah. So today we're going to tell you a little bit about this mitten that we made, and we will show you a trick how to avoid the ladder.
But before we show you the trick, let's talk a little bit about the design of the mitten. As you can see, it's kind of like a traditional style mitten, but it's got this very long ribbing. Now the reason for the long ribbing is because when you put it on, and this is a design element, you put on the mitten and then you have this really nice rib that you can just tuck your shirt in. Well, I guess in winter you could put this over your jacket, and then you just do that with a ribbing.
And you know, this mitten with the long rib is so comfy.
It's super comfy, and now you kind of wear it like that. Yeah, I think this is perfect. You wear it like that, and it warms up your entire underarm, your wrist, and a little bit upwards. So, not maybe the best thing to wear today in 25 degrees of heat, but eventually there will come a time in Norway when the sun won't shine.
That's one thing you can be sure of.
Yes.
That will happen one day.
Yeah. So anyway, we've got this lovely mitten, and I'm going to now take it off and pass it on to Arne. And we'll talk a little bit about a traditional Norwegian mitten and what are the elements that should be in the design. The ribbing is one thing. It's kind of like updating it and making a modern twist, maybe more of a fashion statement, but the mitten in itself is very traditional, apart from the rib. So Arne, tell me, a Norwegian traditional mitten needs to have a few elements. What are the elements?
There's always a bigger pattern on the top.
Okay.
And then in the palm of the hand there's like a smaller pattern.
Yes.
This pattern is a little bit bigger than you normally will see because we had to make something different.
But it's still small.
And then it's like a repetition of the pattern in the palm is on the thumb.
On the inside.
On the inside. And then on the top of the thumb you have elements from the big pattern.
Yeah.
So on this one you have that little blurry thing, which is this one. And then you have these crosses in the triangle, or like a shoal. What's that in English? Shield?
Shield.
And that's on this side.
Yes. And then,
this side.
And then, of course, you have the traditional Norwegian thumb gusset,
Yep.
which has also a design element where actually we do the right-leaning and the left-leaning increases in order to create the V sign, as you can see on the mitten.
This one.
Yeah. And this is not going to be a tutorial about how to do the increases for the thumb gusset, because we've done that before. And if you want to see that particular tutorial, it was done with our Lykke mittens, which we released before Christmas 2019. So right now there's going to be a link appearing above Arne's head for the Lykke mitten pattern and design, and also the YouTube tutorial, so that you can go in and see exactly how you knit the thumb gusset and how you increase on the left and on the right of the gusset. Yeah. So we're not doing that today, but what are we going to do a tutorial about today?
We are going to show you a trick, because when you do such a long rib, it's so easy to get what they call the ladder. That's like the gap between two needles when you go from one needle to the other. So there's one trick you can do, and I'm going to show you.
Yeah, and I have to say, we get a lot of comments about ladders, how to avoid ladders. There's a couple of different tricks, aren't there, Arne?
Yeah.
And we've already done a video on ladders, which I suppose will pop up over Arne's head as well. So if you want to, see version number 1 of how to avoid ladders, you can go there. But I think that you've come up with a better solution than the first one.
The first one is just for a normal rib, and normally we don't get a lot of ladders when we do the normal rib. But when you have a lot of ribbing, then you kind of lose focus after a while, because you just continue to knit and purl. And then it's so easy to forget to tighten up the yarn when you go from one needle to the other.
Okay.
So what you can do is this way. You just knit a needle, and then when you finish the needle, you knit one from the next needle
onto
that needle. And then you continue and you knit the second needle like this. And then when you're at the end of this one, you do the same. You knit one extra from the next needle. So this way you are...
So you're actually pretty much moving the stitches. So you're moving one stitch from one needle onto the previous needle. And as you do that going on the round, you will never get a particular ladder going in a direct line, because those stitches will be staggered.
Yeah. So
wow.
Always knit one extra from the next needle when you finish one needle.
And did you come up with this all by yourself?
No, I guess I learned it somewhere or heard it somewhere.
Probably from your very clever grandmother.
Or I don't know, somewhere. So that's the trick of the day.
That's a fantastic trick. I think that with this tip in your head, you will never have to worry about ladders again. As long as you're knitting on the round with double pointed needles, just take one stitch from the needle you're knitting and move it on to the no, hang on. That's confusing now.
No, you're knitting the needle and knit one extra from the next needle.
Exactly.
And then you do the same all the way around. And
keep doing it, going on the round, and then there will be no ladders whatsoever.
On this one you can actually see, if I pull it a little bit, you can see there's like a gap.
Yeah.
So I haven't been focused, but normally when you stretch it and you use it, it disappears.
Okay.
But on this part, I moved the stitches like I showed you, and there's no ladder.
That's fantastic.
So you don't have to worry about the ladder if you do that.
So, a quick question again about the design. Let's go back to the design. Well, I know this because I've been, working on this design with Arne, but maybe our viewers would like to know where the inspiration behind the design come. And maybe let's talk quickly about the motifs on the front of the mitten.
Yeah, the motif from the front is inspired of the stave church in Ringebu in Gudbrandsdalen.
Okay,
that's not far from our house. And in that church, there's a lot of these acanthus.
Yes, and acanthus is a very typical kind of motif, which has been used all over the world actually for embellishment and decoration, not only in textiles but in furnishing as well. And these beautiful acanthus leaves actually create hearts, which are very sweet. And then what else do you have in the design elements?
Well, the inside of the mitten is actually also from the church, but there was a very interesting pattern in the church, which we can show later maybe in another video, and it came out a little bit messy. So from that inspiration, this came out, and it's really hard to explain why it came out like this.
So we'll have to show it.
That's how it works. You look at something and you get inspiration, and you're not copying what you see, you create your own. You create something yourself.
I'm sure our viewers, Arne, would probably, be wondering now, I wish I could see the inspiration behind this. And that would entail getting in our car, probably our Beetle, right?
Yes.
And then going to Ringebu Church to show the motifs that we've then taken and then reworked into the design. And I'm going to ask our viewers, would you be interested in seeing a video like that? If you are interested, let us know in the comments. If we get enough comments, we will just have to get in that car. And we will just have to drive those, 1 hour and a half to Ringebu Stave Church to show you the inspiration. Now, if we get enough comments, we will do it. If we don't get any comments about this, we won't. But keep in mind that the Ringebu Stave Church is a stave church in wood, and it has miraculously survived since the 12th century. So it's been there a long, long time, and you really want to see it. But we're not going to go unless you tell us to go. That's a fact.
Maybe we do it anyway. It's a nice trip.
Yeah, but we want people
Okay.
to encourage us to go. Otherwise, you know, we could just go and hang out in our garden, which is going to be lovely this time of the year, right? So let us know in the comments field if you want to see the Ringebu State Church and get a lesson in how we design. And Arne, now that we have explained your fantastic technique, it is time to do the formalities.
Yeah, that is like if you like the video, put your thumbs up. If you put on your notification, you will get notification.
Your notifications.
Yeah, you will get like a message, like a pling.
And that means you will,
No, there's a new video out.
and then you will never.
Miss an episode.
There we go.
Yeah.
And the ARNE CARLOS family of subscribers is growing exponentially, and we would really love it if you would be a subscriber. So if you're not subscribing already, we would encourage you to do so. And we promise you there's lots of fun videos, and you never know with us, you know, sometimes we post on Thursdays, sometimes we post on Wednesdays. What we do always do is we post on Sundays at 6 p.m. Central European time, 11 a.m. Central Standard.
And now we should stop. I see you looking for the seagulls all the time.
The seagulls are freaking me out. I feel like I'm in a Hitchcock movie, and I'm not very fond of seagulls. So let's pack and go somewhere seagull-free area.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that. So
Okay.
let's get the hell out of here. Okay.
See you next time.
Bye.